Hi, today I'd like to show you In Heaven Sitting Down. I'm tuned to G, G, D, G. I guess it's really called I Wish I Was in Heaven Sitting Down. There's so many versions of this song. This is a finger picking version, but only with the thumb and the first finger. And it sort of works on 3 levels. I'm going to play it for you now on like level 3, the hardest level. This is not a beginner video, but it is not anywhere near as hard as it sounds. So I'll play it for you. Here you go. Now, the first thing to notice is it has a groove, and the groove is, once again, thumb and first finger pinching the open strings. Then your thumb picks the middle string. So your thumb is basically doing an alternating thing all the way through the song. If you've never done that, you can just rest your first finger on the first string as a mute and just go back and forth. So that feels real comfortable. Now you're going to be pinching, then hitting the middle, then the high string, and that's a syncopation there. So the bass line is, and we're just filling it in with this little high string. And we don't play it loud either. When we play a melody note, we'll pick just a hair harder. It sort of happens naturally. You don't really have to think about it too much. So I kind of noticed that the finger picking versions I saw, they didn't do this. And the other versions I saw from back in the day, they did this. But it's really easy to add that into this groove. I'll slow it down. So that's on the and of 4. So I'll show you how to fit that in. You play the groove. On the second time you play the groove, the very last thing you do, which would normally be this middle string, you do another pinch. I'll play the second part of that. And you don't have to play the whole pinch all the way across. I have it written like that, or you can just... and 1. And 1. Okay? Now we start with the melody. So we're going to go up to 7. And because we're playing a pattern, we'll keep playing 7, but the first 7 is the important one, so the other ones are quieter. Like that. And this will happen naturally because you want that 7 to ring out. Like that. Then we go to 5. And we don't do the little in-between note. We just do the alternating bass. Back to the groove. Twice. So let me do that again for you, starting on 7. One more time. Go slow. Now we go back up to 12 for the melody. Same thing, you still keep picking the pattern. And then 10. And that's just with the middle string, not any extra. And then 5. And then you go to a 7 for the whole chord. And you play the pattern. So that's Now So you kind of see when you do the full pattern, it brings it out one way, but when you need the melody to be quicker, you just leave out that extra note, and it changes where the melody note ends up. Do that one more time. And then back to the melody again. This one's a little different. And then I go up to a 5 chord. And on the last note of this measure, I hit a 3. So I better back up a little bit. Here's up on the 12. He'll do the first 12. The melody goes back up to 12. And that's a full pattern on the 7. And then we go to the 5 full chord, or I like it as a full chord. And then instead of continuing the pattern, we just jump in and do a 3. And then back to the groove. And then we go to the 3rd fret for the full groove. 5th fret for the full groove. Pinch, middle, high, low, high, middle. Back to the groove. And you can stay on these things as long as you want. This is just a rough outline. You can do it make them longer, shorter. Now, how to make it easier. You can also do the song without the syncopation, just with the and then that way you just pick the melody, go. Whoops. I also didn't put any chords in there at all either. So you can just do the alternating bass. And all that means is that sometimes you'll pinch the high string with the low note, sometimes with the middle note. And you don't need a different tab for that. You just swipe out all the melody notes on the first string, just block them out, cross them off, whatever, and that'll give you that arrangement of that. And I also didn't change any of the chords, and some of the versions out there, they don't change any of the chords either, like the really old ones especially. They sort of just have a drone going, so you might actually prefer that. So once again, it's up to you. You can either do the full pattern with chords, or you can do, let's call it a half pattern. You can still throw that low note in. You can do it like that. And you can do it with the chords or without. So I really hope that works for you. Have a great day. Bye.